be able to start this postseason run, given everything that's led up to it?
Walter, could you start?
It means a lot. Obviously, we haven't been looking past anything, but it just means a lot, finally get here, get an opportunity to come out and win some games in a row.
Will, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with what Walt said. It definitely means a lot, the season that we had building up to this moment. So definitely appreciate the journey that it's taking to get here. So we're ready to play.
Elijah, is there anything to add?
Nah, they said it all.
All right, let's go second row there, Steve.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. Elijah, this is your third NCAA tournament, and obviously, you had the run a couple of years ago with Florida Atlantic. Just what kind of experience can you kind of impart from that, for the rest of the group in terms of, helping to be successful this time around?
Yeah, definitely blessed to be here for the third time. Just want to remind the guys, to stay hungry, stay humble, and just don't take nobody lightly, and just have elite focus, and we'll be fine.
All right, we're going over here in the front.
Yeah, hey guys. Edgar Thompson, the Orlando Sentinel. You three kind of lead the way and set the tone, and you're up here speaking about this. Back in the locker room, you got your big guys. Just could each of you maybe just touch on how they separate you guys from other teams? I mean, you guys are terrific, but they really kind of elevate you to a different level teams can't match.
Elijah, we're going to let you go first.
Yeah, we have unbelievable front court. We got 2 guys that can bring it up, 3 guys that can shoot the 3, 4 guys that can offense rebound the ball, elite. So, I mean, when you just name those 4 guys, we just have the utmost confidence in them. So,
Will, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with Walter. With Elijah. Our front court depth is elite, and those guys, they bring a huge lift off every time they step on the court, and they're playing hard. They're doing a lot of things that they don't get credit for, so they definitely take our game to another level.
Walter?
No, I agree with what they said.
Fair enough. Any other questions for the student athletes? Let's go second row, Coop.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. Walter, this offense is up to number 1 in the country in KenPom. I'm just curious about, what makes it fun to operate and what makes it effective in your mind as a point guard?
The fact that we just got multiple guys that can do multiple things. We got multiple guys that can be on ball, off ball. So I think it's just a healthy balance of, guys just, depending on the game, whatever game it is, guys just providing different things. So I think that's what's making it so great.
Jaden, can we go back up front here?
It's kind of playing off Zach, but now that it's here, what's kind of just been the discussion and the mentality going into this deal? Because Todd talked about it the other day, it can be over in one game if you're not on your P's and Q's.
Will, could you answer that?
Yeah, like Elijah said, just saying humble and hungry, knowing that you can't get content, but just knowing that we got to have elite focus going on every game and just attacking every game like it can be our last because win or go home, so you got to bring it.
Any other questions? Go back up front, Coop.
For Will and Walt, how much do you guys want to get this first win? Obviously, you guys have bigger goals, but just to kind of get first NCAA tournament win for both of you.
Walter, could you go first?
Yeah, we had a little team get together earlier today, and that's something me and Will talked about, just not looking past any game. Obviously we haven't won a game in the tournament yet, so it's definitely going to mean a lot, getting this first one.
Will, do you have anything to add?
Not yet. Walt said it all. I'm good.
All right, let's go on the edge back there.
This question's for Walter. Do the individual accolades mean anything to you right now? Consensus first team All-American, and sort of, where that puts you in Florida basketball history as the first Gator to do that?
Yeah, it definitely means a lot. I'm thankful, but I think it just means a lot for the team also. I think those individual accolades sometimes could, reflect on the team. The team, they've trusted in me, to do things, and we've been winning. So I think that's one of the main reasons, those awards are starting to come out, So I definitely give a lot of credit to my teammates and my coaches for the awards I've been getting, and I'm thankful.
Cooper, back in the white there towards the middle. For Walter, Chris Harry, Orlando, or for FloridaGators.com. For Walter and Will, do you remember watching Elijah and watching that FAU run, and what were your thoughts when you saw those guys doing that?
Walter, I think it's your turn to go first.
I definitely remember I was actually on my visit in the portal whenever they played Kansas State up there. It was Madison Square, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was actually on my visit watching that. So, him being here with us now, obviously having that experience, man, it's great to have on our team, and I definitely remember they run.
Will?
Yeah, I was right there on the couch watching the game with him. But, we definitely watched their run, and just having Elijah, knowing his experience and what he can bring to a team like that, it's definitely important for us to have him here with us. So.
Any other questions? Okay, back up front, Cooper.
I know you guys have already fleshed this at this point, but what was the plane ride back to Gainesville like, and just celebrating the first, 24, 48 hours after getting home?
Elijah?
Man, just a bunch of guys just singing in the air, waiting on the selection show, just tell us where we're going, who we're playing, stuff like that. It was just great vibes, man. All type of songs that we singing and just having fun.
Will, do you have anything to add?
I'm not gonna lie, I was tired. Them 3 games had me tired. I was asleep.
Man, he was singing too.
He was the only one asleep on the plane.
He wasn't asleep.
Nah, I let him nap. We had a team get together later in the day, so yeah.
A little power nap.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right, gentlemen, you're good to go. Thank you very much, and good luck tomorrow.
Sir, thank you.
Portion of the press conference. Coach, could you please give us an opening statement?
Yeah, obviously really, really fortunate and happy to be here. Really proud of the season that our players have had to this point. 30 wins, winning the SEC championship last week in the tournament, and earning a 1 seed is something that we're really proud of, and we're hoping we're just getting started.
All right, thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll open the floor up for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand and wait until we get a microphone to you. All right, let's start up here, Jaden.
Edgar Thompson, Orlando Sentinel. Smile, man. So the big 3 was just up here, the veteran guards. But the other, 4 guys, and they're more than 4, but the main post players, just how much of a separator are they from what most teams can kind of bring to the table in terms of their effort and depth?
Yeah, for a large part of the season, our perimeter received a lot of the credit, and as they should for the level in which they played consistently. Denzel is in that group as well. Irby, obviously, has come on and played very well. But as you just said, I do think the separator is our front court. Ruben and Alex have done a great job starting for us all year. Tommy, definitely an additional starter level player, one of the best 6th men in the league, has played at an all-league level for a majority of the season. And then being fortunate enough to add Micah back, about a month ago was just an addition that, for lack of a better term, completed us and gave us extreme depth in the front line, allowed us to go 9 deep. And, as we've won 12 out of our last 13, I think our front court deserves a lot of credit for that. Coach Barnes talked about him after the championship game as being one of the most complete front lines in America, and I agree with him.
Okay, let's stay on the side there to Mark.
Hey, Todd. Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. Just with regard to Walter, I'm just curious how much you'd followed his journey prior to coming to Florida, and what separates and what makes him special.
Yeah, we, when we were fortunate enough to get the opportunity here at Florida, we kind of did a research project on all the young men from the state that were playing elsewhere to, try to prepare for the transfer portal and try to just have a good understanding of who was out there. And so we were able to identify him, and obviously had a fantastic season at Iona as a sophomore and played for Coach Pitino, one of the best coaches in our profession. And so when he became available, he was a guy that we really, really wanted to add to our program, as we felt like he would kind of raise the bar for us. And when we were able to secure his commitment and add him, obviously we haven't looked back. And he's a big part as to why we've been so successful. He had a great year for us last year, playing alongside Zion Pullen. But the strides and the growth that he's made this year, I can't say enough about him and the work that he's put in to get there. A lot of people questioned his ability to play point guard at the SEC level. And, he, in my humble opinion, is playing like the best guard in America right now. And, he's as big of a part of our success as anybody. His leadership's been fantastic. He's consistent. He works hard. He asks a lot out of his teammates, but he always delivers himself. And Walter Clayton is very, very, very impactful as to why we've been able to kind of raise the level of our program.
Okay, Cooper, can we get to the middle in the dark coat?
Darren Stoltzfus, West 2 News, Orlando. Todd, last year you guys had confidence. You were close. But this year there's almost an assurance about this team, and it's paid off. Where does that come from, the buy-in? What is it? Where does the giant leap from last year 2 to year 3?
Yeah, well, to your point, I thought we were close last year. We did a lot of good things. We were fantastic offensively. We were explosive, averaged, close to 90 a game. But, we also had some areas of weakness, in our defense. Specifically was a spot that we were really inconsistent, and we didn't play consistently enough at the level to be a very, very good team. So after last year, I think our staff did a good job of self-evaluating and understanding where we needed to improve and get better, both from a coaching perspective and a roster perspective. And we went out, and the two main guys, obviously, that we added from the portal, and Elijah and Ruben, have just added a level of toughness and physicality and really raised the bar for us on the defensive end. We bet on our guys in our program making a jump, and those guys certainly have done that. Alex Condon, Tommy, Denzel, Will, and Walt, all 5 of them specifically have made a big leap this year and are much better than they were last year. And, the personality of our team is starting to show in terms of their unselfishness, and they're willing to play for each other. So, kind of just all those things together have given this group a lot of confidence. And, our players compete really hard. They're really talented, but they allow us to coach them and hold them accountable. And, those are the main reasons why we've been so successful this year.
Cooper, front row.
Zach Abaverdi on 3. Todd, obviously you guys have big goals and aspirations, but for this first game, how much is important for you and your team to get this win? For you as a coach, and then for the group that went through last year.
Obviously, incredibly important, because if we don't, we're going home. So, this is kind of just the next step. Norfolk State, honestly, is a very good team. They're a very good team. I think they're incredibly well coached. They run good stuff offensively. They're unique defensively. They'll throw different defenses at you. They're going to make us think tomorrow, which I think is a good strategy in this type of situation. But our guys will be prepared. And, from a program standpoint, we obviously made a big jump last week, getting back to being able to raise a trophy at the SEC tournament. And now we feel like, taking this next step in the NCAA tournament, obviously winning tomorrow will be the first step in our ability to make a deep run. But as you said, it starts tomorrow. We got to have a great game tomorrow night.
All right, Jaden, we're going third row in the blue, and then we'll get the green.
Kyle Lander, Florida Gators on SI. Todd, you talked about it near the end of the season, throughout the season, the underdog mentality that your team carries. How do you maintain that mentality while also seeing basically almost the entire national media still choose you guys as like your national championship favorites?
It's changed a lot over the last 72 hours. I can promise you that. We went into Nashville, still feeling like we had a lot to prove, and that, we maybe weren't getting the respect nationally that we deserved. After 3 great games in 3 days there, it's flipped. And now we have a different challenge ahead of us, and that's handling success. And, being in the eye of the media and having people talk about us, ESPN, therefore, media guys all selected us to win the national championship Sunday afternoon after we won the SEC tournament. So the talk with our team has been, we have to do everything we can to stay consistent, to stay humble, and not allow all the just excitement around our program take away from what's made us who we are this year, which is a tough team that plays with an edge. And, I believe our guys are mature enough to handle that. Our staff understands what's in front of us, and, we're going to do everything we can to continue to play the way we have, up to this point.
Okay, on the edge here, Jaden.
Walking USA Today. Todd, a lot of conversation this year about how physical the SEC was, style of play-wise. How do you think that's going to translate to, to the tournament? And, is there anything you're going to be looking for in the officiating to, if you need to make an adjustment there, that you can do that?
Yeah, I think it's a great question because our league is by far, in my opinion, the most physical league in America. And, at times, I think clubs from our league struggle in the first game, just kind of getting used to the way the game is officiated compared to the SEC. It's something that we've talked about as a staff a lot, something that we've kind of addressed with our players. there might be some things in SEC play that you can get away with that might get whistled early on in the tournament before you start getting into more of those kind of bigger physical matchups. So we're mindful of it. We'll continue to address it with our guys, and we'll do everything we can to make sure that doesn't set us back where we're playing in big-time foul trouble tomorrow night against Norfolk.
Other questions for Coach? Cooper back up front.
Todd, I know you guys have fleshed this at this point, but what was the plane ride home and being able to kind of celebrate that with your team, walk off the plane with that trophy, and just kind of have that 24 hours to celebrate?
Yeah, it's amazing. Winning the SEC tournament this year, especially, is an incredible honor. And the SEC was the best basketball league college has seen in about 20 years analytically. And, it was something that I wanted our guys to be able to enjoy and celebrate and be incredibly proud of. We made a decision before we left for Nashville that if we were somehow able to become victorious, that we were going to get right back on the plane and head out of there, because we stayed and watched the selection show last year. We didn't get home till like 2 o'clock in the morning, so we wanted to get back and kind of get off our feet. And sure enough, the timing was – we took off, I think, like 5 minutes before the selection show started. So we didn't really know what was going on. We were fortunate enough to have great pilots who were communicating with air traffic control or whoever, and we were able to get our matchup and then the 8-9 matchup, and we were able to talk to our guys about it on the plane. It was just really fun and really unique, and everybody enjoyed it. But, yeah, it was something that we still are incredibly proud of, but we've moved on for the time being. And, when we met back up Monday afternoon, our guys and our staff kind of made sure our mentality was good in terms of looking ahead and making sure we were ready for tomorrow.
Jaden, can we go up front here?
What do you get out of these shoot-arounds?
Today? Mm-hmm. We'll get up and down a little bit, not playing 5-on-5, but try to get a little bit of a sweat. We did a walkthrough off-site this morning, so we took care of a lot of the technical stuff and kind of the game plan stuff already, so we can kind of just more enjoy it. And we'll just get a lot of shots up, try to make sure our guys are comfortable and confident playing in this venue. Sometimes teams struggle shooting the ball in the first round of the tournament, going somewhere where they haven't been before. So, like I said, we'll dribble a little bit. We'll try to fly around, get up and down, get a little bit of a sweat, do what we call big little, where we have our guards work out on one side, our bigs work out on the other, and then we'll go do some station work and try to take advantage of the 40. But we'll try to get a good sweat, get a lot of shots up, and after that, we'll be pretty much done for the day.
Is it a balance between just getting your guys to enjoy this experience too? I mean, being in the spotlight and families around and all that.
Yeah, it's a healthy balance because these opportunities aren't promised, and we certainly don't take for granted the opportunity to come play in the NCAA tournament. And again, we hope to be here for a while and play multiple games. But these are memories that these guys will have for a lifetime, and especially some of the types of young men that we have in our program. We have guys from Serbia, guys from Slovenia, guys from Lithuania, that just, they don't really understand what the NCAA tournament is until they get to America. And now they're here and they're seeing it, they're seeing a police escort, taking our bus here to the arena. And it's just something that they'll be able to hold on to for the rest of their lives. So I want them to enjoy it. Again, the unique thing about our team is I think we're very mature and we can do both. We can enjoy it, but still have the workmanlike attitude and approach needed to make sure that we have a good performance tomorrow night. And we'll go out there and when we get our 40 minutes on the floor, we'll be enjoying it out there too. I promise you that.
All right, Cooper, third row back in the middle there.
Todd, you talked about betting on your guys and expecting them to develop into better players, and it paid off. But continuity is not something we see often in this version of college basketball. What was it that made you want to bet on your team? And you used the transfer portal, but not a complete swap over after a year.
Well, I think Florida's a unique job in the sense of it being such a great place and that you can still have a program. You can still build from the ground up. Obviously, the transfer portal is going to be a big part of what we do. It has been, at San Francisco before I got here and ever since I've been at Florida. But, now we're at the point in our program where my goal will be to continue to grow, from the young guys in our program. Like Isaiah Brown's a great example of that right now, a guy that doesn't play a lot for us, but I think can be a great player in the SEC in due time. And we want to give those guys the opportunity and show the same loyalty to them that they showed to us sticking around. Denzel Aberdeen's a great example of that, a guy that could have easily went in the portal after last year. He would have got promises going elsewhere, but he stuck it out. Because he loves Florida and he loves being a Gator, and he's being rewarded by, obviously coming off the bench, but being an integral part of a great team, scoring kind of the clinching basket against Tennessee on an incredible baseline drive last week, hitting a huge three right before halftime that allowed us to separate to 9 points. But that loyalty, that togetherness is what makes us who we are. I think we have really, really good talent. Good individual talent in our program, but we have great team talent, and our guys really enjoy playing together. They care about each other. There are real relationships in that locker room, and I feel like you can see that when you watch our team play.
Coop, front row.
Todd, how do you feel about John getting the head coaching job, and what he's been able to do for you guys, and also how huge it will be that he's going to stay through the tournament?
Yeah, I'm incredibly happy for John. My first coaching job was at Columbia University as the director of basketball ops back in 2010, I think, and John was a student manager for us when I was there. That staff, by the way, I think has 5 head coaches now, and we were not that good, which makes it even better. But he's an incredible young coach, and he's done a great job this year. I've given him a lot more responsibility on the defensive side of the ball, and he's coordinated it very well. Obviously our players deserve most of the credit for the jump we've made, but I think his organization and his leadership on that side have held us more accountable that way. And, for me, I'm incredibly proud. I know my mentor, Kyle Smith, is incredibly proud, that people are appreciating what, for lack of a better term, our tree has been able to do in college. And when you see a guy like John get an opportunity at a great place like Campbell to come in and take over the job and see, what he's able to do with his imprint on the program, he knows he has my full support, and myself and Kyle will be there for him, whatever he needs. And, you want your coaches to be able to get opportunities like that. And just like you want your players to grow and become NBA players, you want your staff to grow and become head coaches. And it's going to be really difficult losing him. But at the same time, when you're able to have coaches in your program move on to head jobs, there's a lot of really talented people that want to come work for you also. So we'll have to, look around and see, who's the right fit. We have really good guys in our program like Jonathan Sapphire, who I'll likely promote to an assistant to take John's spot. But, we'll continue to add, bright young guys that are all about our program moving forward.
Any other questions? All right, Coach, thank you very much, and good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Oklahoma